Agbogbloshie, a place Europe's electronics come to die. Agbogbloshie, graveyard for electronic. Agbogbloshie, the most polluted place in the world. Agbogbloshie, the most toxic place in the world, called as Sodom and Gomorrah. It's a very outrageous headings. I always think that maybe us doing it, they don't remember we are humans. They don't feel we have feeling. Because they just say anything without thinking that how the people there feel about it. Depending on your interests, it's very easy to pick one topic and exaggerate it because there's everything here. The business has been here for many years. So we have people who have their capital, and then they have their employees, and then they have their partners and people they work with. So the business has been here for a long time. So the fact that they just evict us didn't mean the business will end overnight. Definitely people will still find ways to do their businesses because that's where people are specialized in. So then people move
Why
in
the
here.
snappers? Why you the snappers? Where you say, hey, you, no. When you have a snap, I find something.
No, woman.
That one you have a woman like that one.
No. People are not okay because of the experience we've had over the years. People come and film, and then they go and tell they go and exaggerate very negative stories, and then it ends up causing us more harm than good. So now when they see people with cameras, then they try to stop it. Or sometimes they will ask to charge the person so that they will collect some money. So that if whatever the person will go and do with the story, they don't care. So that's why people sometimes will interrupt us, but that's it.
Yeah, it's a craftsman,
Yeah, be Ghana, Bombo Clark. Yeah, be seconds. Come on.
My name is Al-Hassan Ibn Abdallah, but many people call me Abdallah. So the very last name, Abdallah, that's what many people call me. I originally come from the northern part of Ghana in the city of Tamale. But I moved to Accra sometime in 2005. And once I got to Accra, I found myself in Agbogbloshie. I live here sleeping and waking up from here between 2005 and 2015. So I lived here for about 10 years where I was working as a scrap collector, going around the city, collecting scraps, like buying. When I say collecting, like I was not collecting for free. So I go to homes, buying scraps from homes, factories, shops, government agencies. I go around the city, then I buy these scraps, bring them to Agbogbloshie, and then resell.
Small people are working.
You see, we have copper, we have aluminium, we have single, we have brass, we have iron. You understand? Yeah. You can see somebody at the smarten to remove copper and aluminium and separate the iron. We have a lot of materials here. You understand? So you can see one machine, it have a lot of materials. So unless you dismantle it and remove and commot it small before you finish. You see how the guy are doing, you remove copper. They take to the company and sell it. Because copper, every time they are shipped to Europe, they take copper, make ring, chain, earrings, a lot of things. You can see laptop, a lot of laptop stay here. We have technician. If you see somebody are working like this, you have technician. So the time they bring it, the technician will test everything, put it down. So if you want to buy, the owner will know, say this thing is good. So they will sell it high price for you.
People who live here are mostly people from the northern part of Ghana who travel to Accra, the biggest city, to look for greener pastures. The north doesn't really have big factories like we have here. We don't have big companies. We don't have these huge markets like we have in Accra. We do not have, of course the sea is not there, so we don't have a harbor. So like a lot of business activities go on here that we don't have that in the north. In the north we have much smaller markets, and then mostly our people are engaged in subsistence farming, like very small farming, and the farming season is very short because we have one rainy season, and so the farming season is just like 4 or 5 months, and after which you harvest your crops, and the rest of the year you are doing nothing. So people, after harvesting their crops, travel down Accra so they can find something to do. And as a result, people get involved in the scrap business, and then gradually a lot of people are coming because of course it's a job and it gives us income. So everybody wants to do something that will give him income. So people are coming all over. Yeah.
You see all the good free, fine, home theater, light, a lot of things. So if you need something, you came here, you will see it and buy it and go do what you want to do. This machine, we have copper inside. So unless you dismantle it before you see the copper, understand? We have aluminium, copper, iron, and brush. So unless you dismantle it before, this is aluminium. I think it is lights, the street lights. See it. You see inside. So I think it is light. It is aluminium again. You see another guys are cutting the car. You see. Respa.
Materials you see here come from the city and big companies across Ghana. Even though second-hand products are imported to Ghana, but they are not directly shipped to Agbogbloshie and offloaded. No. When the containers come, they come to the harbor in Tema, and then at the harbor, people will buy the things and they'll go and put it in their shops and sell it to, ordinary citizens as reusable electronics. And once they use it, after some time they break down, and then they will now sell it to the scrap dealers. Once the electronic is no longer usable, then it is scrapped. And how it is scrapped, you cut open it, dismantle it, and then you separate the metal components and sell them separately to the various recycling companies.
So it's not a dump of Europe for electronic?
No, it's not a dump filled for electronic like the way it is being described to the outside world. No, nobody comes here to dump. If you come here, the waste is money. Nobody will dump money. People actually keep them in their homes. We go to their homes and buy them and pay, and then we bring it here and work on it. Outside of Ghana, and even some Ghanaians, the perception or the misconception about Agbogbloshie is that it's a big waste dump, very huge waste dump next to the sea, where ships are loaded with waste from Europe and America, and they just move food to Agbogbloshie and dump, and then you find very poor people scavenging in the waste for food to eat, or for some electronic waste to eat. But actually, that's not what it is. These misconceptions stem from the wrong narrative given by many filmmakers who have been to Agbogbloshie, and they give like titles such as Agbogbloshie, the graveyard for electronics from Europe; Agbogbloshie, where your electronics go to die; Agbogbloshie, the toxic Agbogbloshie, the most toxic place in the world; Agbogbloshie, the most polluted place in the world. Agbogbloshie, where Europe dump its waste, the conscience of Europe. Those things. And some of them even came up with some very derogatory name called Sodom and Gomorrah, something we really hate, because that's not us. I do not know how they got that name, but you can't name people in a very bad way like that. If they are actually referring to the biblical Sodom and Gomorrah, then we are the direct opposite, because people here are very religious. As you can see around, there are mosques, there are churches, people are very religious. We are not sodomizing or doing anything that make us Sodom and Gomorrah. But they've managed to give that name to the area, and so it's even influenced some of the titles, such as Welcome to Sodom. There's a film like that, Welcome to Sodom, which is very bad. And so once they do that, it creates a very wrong misconception out there about the Agbogbloshie community.
See, more blender. If you want to buy, you can come. Everything. If you want to buy, they will test it. If you want to buy, they will test it for you before see everything is good. So here we have light. Here we have light. We have shower. We have mugs. We have toilet. You understand? So everything I will show you. We have everything here. So this community is good. I have family. We are living here with my family. My wife born twins, boy and girl. We'll go and you see them. My wife's name is Sada. Sada.
Okay.
Sada.
Okay.
Sada. Sada is interesting to make clothes for you.
Okay.
We'll go, you see Sada machine. Let's go.
The community of Old Fadama in Agbogbloshie is a settlement of about 100,000 people or more. It's a slum community with very small houses, very small to the extent that no one can even put in a kitchen or a toilet in his own house. So it's very small, packed together with very narrow streets, a very congested community. So the conditions of life in Old Fadama is a difficult one, but it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay because it's all good. No, there's poverty. Yes, poverty is real. But people work very hard, and because people work very hard just to earn living, at least people can get themselves food and shelter. A lazy person cannot live in Old Fadama because you won't survive it. So that's why you see that even children are working very hard so they can earn some money to take care of themselves, And you will notice that there are no many old people in Old Fadama because it's a very busy, hustling place. So once somebody grows very old, then the person moves back to his hometown to rest. But once you are in Old Fadama, you must be working. You can't rest.
What is the experience of a luta in media?
So a luta, you know, when we were working here, there was a particular spot we used to designate it for burning of copper. So if we have to burn some things out of the copper, then that's the location we send it. So Mohammed, also known as Aluta, was working there, and he worked there for almost all his time here. And so anytime the media people comes, because he's more outgoing, he's very active, a lot of energy, he never gets tired, and he's, I always say, good for the cameras. Anytime the media people come, he was always the one. Even the leaders in the business will designate him to talk to, you know, to show the media people around. So he's like a tour guide here. When you come around, he knows everything. He knows everything about the business. He goes around, show you. So he's more experienced in terms of showing people around, you know. So if you watch majority of the videos in the internet, his face is there.
This is tanko, but it is aluminium. The pot makers, they will come and buy it and go melt it in the pot.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
Here in Old Fadama, Agbogbloshie, it's a very difficult community. Let me say it's a very difficult situation. Money is the only thing we need, because you have to pay to bath, you have to pay everything you pay. So people are actually looking for money. We are here because we want money. The people come, some of them will come already with their story. This is what they want to do. They want to show how electronic is harmful to the environment. So then they will get some people and explain to them what they want to see. And then they will pay them, and the people will explain. You know, so the people really are interested in the money, and mostly it's the young ones who are finding it very hard to survive, you know. So once they see your dollars, they'll tell you what you want to hear, and then they take the money. You know, so people come. You see, if you notice, the same people who tell you the story will be the same people who tell the other person the different story, because it's the money that they are after. Once you pay them, then they will tell you what you want to hear. Even sometimes people come already all map out what they want to do. They will show you pictures. We want to see this and that, and then we want to say this and that about it. You know. So once they do that, people who want money, they will pay them, and then they will say it for them to record it. There were many media houses coming over, so many to the extent that I lost count. I actually didn't take stock of them, so it's not like I was counting 1, 2, 3, but there were that many to the extent that I cannot even say 10 or 20 or 5 or 100. No, I have lost count. The media, like the filmmakers, the documentary makers, when they are coming, they already have in their mind that they are coming to see Agbogbloshie, a big waste dam where people will be busily working with electronic that will be very toxic, you know, releasing a lot of lead into the system, a lot of fumes. So when they get here, mostly they don't see that, but they are already here and it costs a lot, so they want to make a story. So then they will organize it. The media comes, and sometimes they want to see smoke. So they bring the boys together, and then the boys will just gather some plastics, add some cushion from fridges, and then burn it and make the smoke dramatic for the cameras so that the media can show it. Some of them organize it. In fact, there was one filmmaker who came to me and was like, "Hey, Abdallah, I want you to tell me the time the ships will arrive to dump so that I'll come and film that." And I was like, "What ships are you talking?" He said, "Look, like, you know, ships piles of electronic waste arriving from Europe to come and dump in Agbogbloshie. I want to film that." And I said, "We don't have that. You will never get that. Because we don't, there's no way a ship can even get to Agbogbloshie. We are not right at the sea. And there's no dumping here. Even if you see a truck loads of electronics, that's somebody's business. Somebody bought them. Somebody used his money to go and buy, to come and either sell or to come and dismantle it and then separate the metals and sell." So people, especially those who work in the scrap business, they are mostly very angry about these wrong narratives. Because look, what we do is try to be innovative. As in, somebody has, let's say, a car, then the car engine breaks down, the person replaces the car engine. What would he do with the engine? Then someone decided, okay, let me go and buy this engine, open it up, separate the different metal components in it, and then sell it to different companies that can recycle them, just so I can earn a living. And then someone will come and twist that story and tell it in a very negative way, and it end up affecting the business. So people are very angry about these stories, and that's why these days when they see people with cameras, they will shout. They don't want people to film around because there's a lot of negative stories out there. So you see, when you come here, when you come to Agbogbloshie and you go to the scrap yard, definitely this is scrap, like scrap. People have scrap things they don't like. So definitely it's like trash. It's waste people don't want. But then we take it and turn it to business. In the process, we dirty ourselves because it's work. Because we don't have enough money to build a big factory and do these processes in there. That's why we are doing it in the open, and then people see and it looks, oh, it's dirty. But look, in big factories where people process things, there are a lot of dirtying that people do even worse than what we have here. But because our own is open, people can see and then talk about it. But it's not anything weird. It's not something that is out of the ordinary. We are working. Once you work, especially we are working with waste, there's definitely going to be debt. There's definitely going to be, some kind of spilling of one thing or the other. The truth is that the small dirty oil we spill there is not even up to 1/10 of what the big companies spill when they do their work. Even some of them spill oil into the ocean, causing more harm to aquatic life. But hey, we are here. How much oil do we spill? Very small, very negligible. So yes, I'm not saying everything is good, glamour, no. Once you work, you produce waste, and waste is always pollutants. Once you are here, there are many things you may not understand. So it's always better to ask. And you see, because of the past experience of people here, when you ask randomly, you are likely to hear two things or to face two situations. One situation is that people will like shout at you, hey, we don't want camera, because of their experience. The other situation is that people will ask you to give them money so they will talk. And then once you give them money, they want to know what you want, then they will tell you what you want. But the reality is that in general, people here are just like any other normal person who wants to survive. It's easy for people to attribute that to, let's say, child labor or all that. But here, the children you see are actually self-employed. They are doing it for themselves. They are not like, it's not like a certain big boss somewhere is employing minors to do work for him. But you find children going around collecting the scraps and reselling to earn income so they can survive. Because this is a slum. And in a slum is the survival of the fittest. Everybody is on his own. Some of them are street children, so they do that work so they can earn some money to survive. You know. Yes, the situation here is a difficult one. But comparing our situation to like people who do not work at all, we are far, far better. Because at least we are able to make some money from the work, and we are able to sustain ourselves and sustain our families. And that is the best for us. I would appeal to people to sometimes look at our situation with the human eye, not just the industrial thinking where you say, yeah, they are polluting, they are destroying, they are this. Like, think about it that, look, we are looking for jobs to do. And then there's opportunity for us to join the recycle circle, the recycle chain, where we can prepare materials for recycling. We can prepare waste material for recycling. And this way, people will understand that, look, this is business. It's not just waste. And once it's business, even if there's something negative about it, we can correct it together. Of course, the scrap dealers, we are open to people like bringing suggestions as to how we can do it better, but not to destroy it. You know.
I say, oh, they're here cool. When I even criminal come here, say, oh, we will sack them.
There. Chacha can knock a can.
No,
African food. African food.
I have blood in my head and my shield full with pain. I have seen the madness that I got in my head. Oh Lord, please help me to get out of this place.
So yes.
Abdallah, when the people do a story with you, do they always send you the video before they publish?
No.
How many times they do that?
Well, I have not counted, but A couple of times. Somebody's told me. And even though I know one particular one, once they publish, they will send me the link to go and watch. You know, so that's. But they don't send it to me to watch before they publish it.
If only it could be just a story.